I did a take before this, and generally we do this podcast live, but I screwed it up, so I'm doing a take 2 here, and everybody's going to have to live with it, and the rest of the edit's going to have to live with it. But this is the Slant 3D podcast, the show about 3D printing and our place inside the industry. Today, guys, we're going to be talking about 3D printed lamps coming from Phillips, some major upgrades to portals this week, which I think all of you guys will like because now you have your own store, and then wrapping it up with your questions from the YouTubes, talking about an internal entrepreneur job, why we don't do internships, and wrapping up with why portals is probably going to fail. All that and more coming today on the show here in the Slant 3D podcast. But before that, let's go ahead and pay the bills. This episode is brought to you by Portals. Portals lets you upload a model and then start selling physical prints in about 30 seconds. And you don't have to make and sell the prints. This is how it works. You go over to Portals, you upload the file, and then you can share a link to that product listing instantly. When somebody buys it, you get paid the profit from it, and then Slant 3D will print and ship that item directly to your customer for you. You do not have to set up an Etsy store. You do not have to set up a website. You do not have to pay extraneous fees. Nothing is paid until the item is sold. So if you want to start selling prints over on Portals, visit slantpod.com. All right, moving into the news. So, nice little piece of news that didn't make it out to a lot of broad ones are 3D printed lights. Signify opened a European 3D printing hub in Poland. Hundreds of 3D printers will produce lighting fixtures, creating 150 new jobs, production to begin in Q1 2026, and reach full capacity later on. This article is by Pavel Suslarczyk, who, incidentally, is going to be on the podcast here in a few weeks because we did an interview a few weeks ago, and coming into the Christmas season, I'm not going to be available, so you guys are going to get interviews for podcasts. But anyhow, the new Signify plant is being established in Pila, a city in northwestern Poland. The printers will be making fixtures from recycled granulate. According to Signify, this allows users to have a 70% reduction in carbon footprint. It will also shorten the time to market for new products from 1.5 years to just 14 weeks. Formerly known as Phillips Lighting, Signify has long held its position as a global leader. My Creation will be the main beneficiary of the new production center in Pila. Around 300 to 400 fully automated 3D printers will be installed in the new factory. These industrial machines will operate continuously, day and night, producing lighting fixtures for markets across Europe. So, yes, they're expanding. So, full context here. Phillips Lighting created a sub-brand called Signify. Signify has a category called My Creation, where companies can basically upload the design of a lamp and start getting those lamps made for their restaurant or whatever else it was. About a year ago, we talked about McDonald's having 3D printed light fixtures in it. It was done by Signify and My Creation. They have been around for about 5 or even 8 years, like a while. Like they've been doing it for a while, very under the radar. There's a couple of videos on YouTube about it. They're kind of cagey about it. These current machines that are using granulate are different because they started out using Ultimakers. So it's been around for a while. But it's a fascinating thing because they're basically effectively making pendant lights is the main category of kind of lamp that they make, those sorts of fixtures. And they lean into the 3D printing design to create stuff that's really interesting. It's great to see, and it's a little piece of news that didn't really get like widespread notoriety about it by the other pieces of media. So I'm glad it passed through my LinkedIn feed, so I was able to talk about it. But 3D printed lights are a great application for printing. Obviously, all the industrial designers are creating them because they're a really good outlet for industrial design to create really awesome products. On Portals and Teleport, we include light pucks and light fixtures and all kinds of other things so people can make 3D printed lamps because they're a good market to be in. You can create something artistically beautiful that's still fashionable towards a particular category. It's just good stuff. But yeah, Signify and Phillips has been doing it for a few years now, and they are expanding to 300 or 400 machines there in Poland. That is the only piece of news that I was able to get this week, which is also why we're going to have time for your questions here later in the podcast. But getting into that beforehand, company updates. Last week, Teleport itself released an upgrade for premium subscription tier that allows you to include a custom insert card with your stuff. This is effectively one of these. And I think I showed this in the last podcast, but I want to hit it again. The custom insert cards, you can upload a 4x6-inch PNG image, and it can be custom branding. It can be a QR code to a video for instructions to assemble. It can be your own thank you letter. You can scan a handwritten note in if you want to. And you can create that custom insert either on a per product basis, so you can have instructions, or on a store basis, so you can just have a generic thank you note that has your branding on it. It is restricted to black and white because they are black and white thermal labels. That's not something we control yet. But you can do custom insert cards for any orders on Teleport. So if you get an order from Etsy, you can have your branding inside of the box when it arrives there. So it's a really good way to do internal branding. They'll still arrive in the Portals and Teleport white box with blue insert paper, but that's the only branding on there. Okay, that's the upgrade to Teleport. Other than that, everybody's been cranking along. We're working on a premium subscription tier of Teleport that should allow people to get discounted production if you're doing over 100 parts. And there's some more custom slicer settings, maybe custom sliced pieces. All of that's coming through on that premium subscription tier. I don't know when that will drop. But anyhow, Portals. You, as of right now, well, as of this, by the time you guys are watching this, you should have public profiles for your portals. So we released portals 5 or 6 weeks ago, and you were able to create individual links to individual products. We completed this new upgrade here to where you should have a master link to your portals store. So effectively a user profile page that will show all of your portals in a list. And people will be able to add multiple items to their cart and purchase multiple items from you. They are still not searchable across portals because we don't have a good way of doing that to create a really good customer experience. But you as a portal creator can have your store with all of your portals on it. So people can select the different colors. They can select the different variations. You can upload 200 different products if you want, and they will all be there in your store. And we will start expanding that over time here as well. But instead of having a link to a single portal or having to create like a link tree page of all of your portals, you will now have that page, and it'll be a master link at the top of your profile that you can copy and paste and put into your Instagram, and it'll send people over to all of your portals. So it's a very slick thing in that regard. Okay, third-party parts updates. We've added a bunch of third-party parts. Oh, dimensions and sourcing of third-party parts. Right now, you're able to order them from the prototyper. It's a little bit cumbersome. We get that. We are going to be releasing basically a spreadsheet that will have all the parts available with Amazon links to identical pieces so that you guys can purchase them yourself from anywhere in the world to do dimensioning on and that kind of stuff. And the spreadsheet will be kind of more condensed than even like the UI inside of Teleport and Portals is. We're going through and doing a full revamp on third-party parts. We added a bunch in last week. We'll be adding a bunch more information this week and going from there. So people will be able to get a hold of the parts and pieces themselves and roll from there. But yeah, those are the updates to Portals. You'll have public pages of all of your portals if you want them, and third-party parts will get more information there. So if you want to design around a lamp, you can go and get that puck really easily without having to do it through Prototyper. Okay. Small side announcement. I was running through, I do a review of different email inboxes once in a while and stuff to see what I can see, because I want to know what everybody's asking about and what we're missing or not missing. And I was in the info email inbox the other day, and there were a couple of people reaching out around internships for next summer with Slant 3D. Here's the thing, guys. We don't do internships. And the reason we don't is because it's not because I don't want people around, but an internship is a 3-month job. I always hate internships where your job is to show up and experience the place, as in you stand there and you get coffee, because that is not a useful internship to you. You don't learn anything. You don't do anything. It's just kind of ridiculous. But the alternative is for us to put time into you. If it's a job, we need to go through training and expertise and watch you blow stuff up because you're a new person. You're going to screw stuff up all the time. We have to pay for that. It is amazing how unproductive helpful interns are because it takes a period of time for a person to know what needs to be done. So we either nerf everything for you, which is not good for the intern, or we don't do the internship, or we drop you into the fire, get you for 3 months, and then you're not even a real employee and you wander off again. So we put all this time and effort into training you, making you useful, and then by then the internship is over. So it's not productive for us in that regard. And if it's a non-internship where it's like, stand over there and we'll get you for a gopher, that's not worth your time as an intern. All of those are problems. Until we have a solution for it, we're not going to do an internship program because an internship program is meant to be a moment of education where you are deeply exposed to stuff in order to see what it's like. But if you're in the way, it's a problem. If we're not helping you, it's a problem. I don't want you to shadow an engineer and see what they do throughout the day. That's very not helpful. If you want to know about that, watch this YouTube channel. But so we won't do internships until we know how to structure it. For us as a company, an internship should be a talent pipeline. You come work for us for a couple of summers, and then when you graduate, we're like, great, that person's trained up from the last couple of summers. We'll hire them right out of school, and you get a pay bump because of it. And we get to experience you without the stakes of unemployment or firing you or something. We're just like, that intern didn't work out, we're not bringing them back. So those are like the benefits to an organization. But for you, we need to structure the internship. We need to set it up to where this is what an intern is expected to do. These are like the internship categories to where someone who's a freshman or a sophomore can come in, do useful work, do challenging work that they will learn from and be able to partake of it all. Until we have that program, that thought process, that system, we're not going to do interns. So I apologize, guys. I will announce it. I'll let you know when we have internships open, but we just don't want to do it right now because it's not good for you. And I don't want to do an internship that is a waste to the interns. I've been a part of those. I've seen those. I've had friends who have done those. I don't like them because it's just a waste of everyone's time. And you're like 20. Your time is the best right now. Like, go do something else. Go get a job. Go get a real job. Go build something. Here's the thing. Like, if you don't have an internship, this is what I recommend you do during the summer. If you're an engineer and you don't have an internship, drive Uber, do that. Get yourself some kind of working job, flip hot dogs, but start building a portfolio. Design stuff. Find a problem and create things for it. It might be a website. It could be models with create something. Build a portfolio because you can do that. Like, your own projects are perfectly reasonable on a portfolio, so do them. The biggest thing, one of the bigger things I look for when I'm interviewing potential people is I'm like, what is stuff you've worked on in the past? I don't ask who you did it for. I don't care if you designed that plane wing for Boeing or for yourself on the weekend. Tomato. You did something. Most people don't. Most people, when they get off on the summer, they go water ski and visit Hawaii and travel the world and get drunk and then go back to school. If you show that you do something related to your job during the summer, even if you don't have an internship, that's hugely valuable to us and to any other company. So just get a job, flip some burgers, show that you can suffer and do the work and show up on time. And quite frankly, a real job is better for that than an internship because nobody cares if you got coffee. So get a real job, show up on time, do a good job at that job, and then in your spare time, do engineering work or create a portfolio. Okay, small announcement. We should have this job posting up. We're throwing this out there. We don't know if this is useful or not. But an internal entrepreneur. Here's the thing, guys. We built portals. Takes 30 seconds to create a listing. We want the effort of it all is like all the other downstream stuff. People would love to just put in a quarter and get paid $1, but it doesn't work like that. There's effort. To create a business even around portals, you got to make some videos, share things around, find a good product to sell, we would like to hire someone as an internal entrepreneur. And what this person is we're going to pay you like $1,000 a month. $1,000 a month. But your job is to sit inside the office around all of us and find good items that could be sold on portals and build an Instagram page and make some videos around those cool items that are just really demonstrable or really cool looking or whatever it was. You will get free access to the print farm to get stuff 3D printed, and you will be able to keep all the profits from the things that you sell because we're paying you to create portals. This is what we're doing. We're paying you to create portals. And part of that is not just the upload and the creation of the individual portal itself, but the creation of the other stuff for it too. Create an Instagram for it. Find that product. Build out kind of a catalog of portals. Do all that kind of stuff. We're going to pay you mac and cheese money to be in the office, but then give you all the resources. You get to ask our marketing team questions. You get to use nice cameras. You get to have a giant print farm that you can print prototypes off of. So this isn't an internship, but it's not bad. If you're free for the Christmas or whatever it was, we'll bring you on. So if anybody wants to be an internal entrepreneur and make portals all day, let me know. Because having somebody just actively using portals all the time, who's just their full-time job is building portals, gives us a really tight feedback loop of somebody inside the building. If you want to like try it remote, we might do that. I don't know. I don't know how it's useful because a tight feedback loop with us of like, hey, I need this feature, I need this tool, I need this thing, is a challenge. But if you want to just make portals, we want an internal entrepreneur whose job it is to make portals and make some of the other infrastructure around them. So Instagram pages and videos. Okay. Podcast interviews coming down. Yeah. So right now, guys, we're moving into the Christmas season. I am not going to be very available because we're moving into the Christmas season. With that, 1844. Won't be very available because moving into the Christmas season. I've been interviewing people for the last 1 to 2 months or so, talking about 3D printing in business. Some of them are YouTubers, some of them are reporters, some of them are other business operators, some of them are competitors. And it's been a lot of fun to talk to everybody because they are just conversations of stuff. We get on a Zoom call and we record it. But those interviews will start coming down and they will run basically from like the 1st of November through Christmas. I'll probably pop in a couple times for these regular ones for like questions and that kind of stuff. But the discussion section of the podcast will effectively become those interviews, or the whole podcast will become those interviews. Let me know if there's other people that you would like us to talk to. So let's get a suggestion box going down in the comments. Who would you like us to talk to? In all fairness, if I email somebody, they'll probably come on and talk. So I'd love to talk to some of them. If you are an existing YouTuber and you would love to talk, feel free to invite yourself and send us an email and be like, I'd love to come on the podcast. And we'll be like, sure. We'll probably say yes. We do have to balance the fact that like people have to kind of know who you are or whatever it was. So if you're a brand new YouTuber, sorry, you probably can't come on the podcast yet unless you're an interesting person. Actually, that's not even true. If you're an interesting person, I'll talk to you. I don't care who it is. We did do one interview with a guy who I met on LinkedIn, who was a kid who was posting over there. And that was a great conversation. So never mind. I'm not worried about like having subscriber bases back and forth or having our subscriber base interested or not. So long as it's an interesting conversation, we'll send it out. But yeah, I've got like Travis from Shop Nation, Pavel Slusarchik, as I said. Yeah, a few other people. It should be fun. Okay. And we'll try the interview format again because quite frankly, guys, if you guys have been watching a long time, I'm generally here alone. The reason for that is I'm sorry to our guests and I apologize, but our guests lower the views on the podcast, which is so surprising to us because we didn't think that would happen. But I remember I talked to the CEO of Fizna a year or two ago, and we were like, he's the CEO of Fizna. He owns things. This should be significant and relevant. And I was like, no, that podcast was one of the worst performing we had. And we were like, that's so disappointing because these are really interesting people in really significant parts of the industry, but our audience just doesn't care. So that was funny to me. We were just like, great, they just want to hear Gabe talk. And I'm like, that can't be true. I hope that's not true. You guys go listen to somebody else. There's way better people out there. Okay, questions. Let me get into this. 22. Okay, questions from the YouTubes. If you have a question, son of a gun, I just screwed up the YouTubes. If you have a question that you would like me to answer, comment question, whatever your question is, and I will see it eventually. We do questions, we do them as questions come up and that kind of stuff. So it's been a few weeks. We've had a lot of stuff going on, so there's a big accumulation of questions. I'm going to hit as many of them as I can here. You got to follow the rules of question, whatever the question was. Someday I may loosen those rules, but for now, it just makes it easier to search them up. So, okay. Question from Tog Froggington. What are your thoughts on upgraded packaging for the Tangled spools? Tangled filament is our $10 filament brand. We are updating the spool themselves. New spools will be going into production basically in January that are AMS compatible. For the large 3 kg spools, we don't know what else to do. I'm going to guess this question kind of comes... We ship 3 kg spools in sets of 5 in one large box. And if you ever ship something, it eventually goes down a chute somewhere. And what we found is that some of those large boxes, even when we're using heavy duty boxes, get so beat up from those round spools inside that the box turns into a cylinder by the time it arrives and also tears up the spools on the inside a little bit. The filament costs $10 a pound. Still a good deal. And it's PLA, so it doesn't matter if the seal is broken. The point of the plastic bag is to keep dust off them, not to keep water or humidity out. PLA is not very sensitive to that. Anyhow, the packaging itself for Tangled is very functionalist. So we kind of use a brown box and minimal vacuum sealing inside. A problem we have had persistently with the spool has been the spools. The spools, the 3 kg spools and some of our 1 kgs are molded to where they have tiny sprues sticking out the side. So when they stack, they rub on each other and break the seal. We can't get different spools. We've been working to fix it by having foam in between each one of the spools, but that gets broken too because they're really heavy. The new 1 kg spools we think will be a big unlock because I think those will let us make them so cheaply that people may not want the 3 kgs unless you're a real print farm wanting to decrease changeover. But the packaging is constantly evolving. Packaging in general is constantly evolving. Question, is there any plan in the future for a large-scale printer to become a part of your business offering so we can bigger size prints like a 3D wreath or something like that? This is per Edward Stevens, 936. No. We will probably not do large format, bigger than what you have right now, because 85% of products are like the size of your fist. And this is also kind of like a prime economic value too. So to maximize what we can do, it's actually smaller machines, not adding more machines. So we're probably not going to do a large format one. Plus, if you do a large format machine, lead times get broken because it doesn't matter if it's high speed. It's going to take 3 days to 12 days to print the part anyway. So it's tough to estimate lead times and continue on the road of making products for normal people to get a hold of. And normal people want it in a couple of days as fast as Amazon. This can be delivered in a couple of days. This cannot. So yeah, it's not on the roadmap for us right now. Alan Tenore? Question, is there a way to browse items on portals directly instead of only through social media? We've been thinking about this, of making portals a browsable site. Like I said before, if you have your store of portals, all of your portals will be browsable. We're giving you a storefront page to where every portal that you created and made public is on that page. and you can select some featured ones and have a good old time. That is only for you. Portals was designed for social media because there's like $100 billion worth of stuff sold on TikTok right now. And then Instagram has its and so on and so forth. So social media is absorbing more and more of the shopping experience because people watch a video of the review of the item and then they tap, I want to buy that item right there in Instagram, and they buy the item. Portals is designed to be one link on from there because you got to upload a model and we haven't integrated with Instagram yet. But so much shopping is done on social that it's just valuable. And social is like the default. Like a social media profile is almost more common than a website right at the moment. People build websites in order to sell something, but your portal is now the way you get something sold. So your Facebook page or your Instagram page or your social media page are the main ways you'd share something. So that's just kind of better. Plus, if we make all of stuff on portals searchable, like just have portals openly have a thing in there, it's kind of could be convoluted because there's just a lot of different stuff that people are selling on portals. And until that shopping experience is really good for the customers, we can't release it because the shoppers have to have a good experience. They have to go there looking for something that they want and find it. And if it's just a bunch of 3D printed stuff, that's not a good customer shopping experience. So until we crack what that magic is for that, Portals is meant to be a tool for designers who have a following or want to build a following. Here's the thing though, to sell successfully on Portals, you do not need a following. You just need a video that does kind of well. We literally today, I was talking to a designer. He made a pillbox, and you guys probably saw it on Instagram if you're a 3D printing fan. A gum dispenser box where you lift up the side, drop it down, and there's a gum piece right there. You take the gum piece and you lift it up, drop it down, and there's a gum piece right there. And it dispenses these. It's beautiful. It's an awesome thing. The video was at 500,000 views the last time I checked. And he made a portal for it so that he could start selling the actual physical versions of it, because not everybody of that 500,000 owns a 3D printer, but would love to own the dispenser for just their desk or something. So he signed up for a portal in order to catch this wave of traffic as it went by on this video. He only has like 8,000 followers, but the video got 500,000 views. So we live in a world right now of media where you don't need a following in order to get the attention. So just make the video. And you need to make the video anyway in order to create a good product listing. So if you think that Portals or any platform or even people compare Portals to Etsy once in a while, they're not the same thing because Portals isn't a marketplace that people can shop around in. Portals is a checkout tool for people wanting to sell physical prints. Etsy does not guarantee you sales either. They have an organic group of people there kind of looking around for stuff, which is good, but that doesn't guarantee that you're going to get anything sold. So if you're looking for a guarantee of getting something sold, I have a bridge I can sell you. That's kind of the situation. Andy, 16666. Question. Why did you ever sell under a 5 kg spool of filament at $40 to $50 USD? 1 kg spools are not your target market. Also, please use the same spool size and shape as Playmaker's 5 kg spools. Like many people, I'm tooled for them. This was shipping and customs, you'll have a customer. The reason we make under 5 kg is because our 3 kg spools are a standard size that we use in our print farm. And Tangled, aside from being faster, cheaper, and better, Tangled doesn't take any customer feedback. No, that's not true. We take a huge amount of customer feedback on Tangled. But if any of you guys have shopped on Tangled, you know that we're kind of indifferent to certain things. We're sold out again. Deal with it. We kind of don't care, while at the same time caring a lot. Tangled is in this continuously iterative process, but at the same time, there's sort of a, take it or leave it attitude with Tangled, because we don't want to do it. We don't make any money from Tangled. We do it to prove that we can and to create price pressure in the industry. You're welcome, by the way, because other people have lowered their prices, largely because of Tangled in many areas. But like we don't care, and we're selling all the stuff that we can stand, and we can't sell it to Canada because we got to pay for shipping. Yeah, we never sold an under 5 kg spool for $40 to $50 because the 3 kg spools are $30. And if we did a 5 kg spool, it'd be $50. It'd be $10 a kg. So anyhow, 1 kg spools are very much a target market because the vast majority of people with a 3D printer buy that. Tangled filament is super useful for print farms. A lot of people with print farms buy our stuff. We get that. But they're also not the majority of the filament, which is the unfortunate thing. We don't target. We cater to print farms more than most filament manufacturers by putting them on large spools, having it available, putting it even in a subscription is useful to print farms. Yeah, I don't know. Tangled is what it is, and we take optimizations as they come and improvements as they come, but we generally don't force much stuff. Generic 440000V1Z question. Since anyone can upload any model to portals, have there been any issues with people trying to sell things that might be restricted in certain states or countries? This is a thing that, yes, the moderation of portals we have to kind of deal with. So there are like the reporting features on portals and that kind of thing. And yes, there'll be continuous iteration around people stealing models. We have reached out to many, if not most of the designers out there to be like, hey, we have portals. It's a thing where people could steal files and sell prints of them. We want to make sure that you have an open line of contact with us. So like if somebody without a commercial license or something pops up, we can contact you or you can contact us really easily to make sure that your files aren't being stolen or misused on portals. And we're working on features also to enable that. There's we'd love to partner with the repos to where people could find a model on a repository like Things and import them into portals. And then the designer on Things gets to see how many sales of their file happened on portals. This is really, really useful. And also get a royalty from it. This would be the first time that was possible. So we're working on those types of things. Yeah, those types of things are going out. So anyhow, yeah. Oh, by the way, inside of Portals and Teleport, there is a survey feature coming out too. I didn't mention this before because it's a side thing. But there'll be a survey feature coming out where basically like a daily question will pop up inside of Portals. That'll be like a yes, no, or a very one-word entry or something like that. And we're going to start using that for getting feedback of like, what's a color you want? Do you want purple? Do you want this green for Christmas? Would you like this? Do you want that? Do you hate this? Whatever it was. So just a quick little survey feature that like daily will have a new question and we will get feedback from all the thousands of users over there. Let's see here. Hey, Slant 3D, I've been trying to reach for support for over a week without a response. One of my clients purchased my designs through portals but hasn't received any confirmation or tracking info. Could you please look at this? So if somebody orders something from portals, they will get an email from portals with order confirmation, and then when it ships, they get tracking number. Generally, stuff ships in about 2 days. It's very easy for those confirmations to go to spam. That's very possible. The customer can contact us through contacts on portals itself or from those emails again. So if there's like they feel there's a delay on the order, there. A thing I would say, if you have uploaded a portal cold or even teleport, the very first order will potentially be the slowest. The reason for this is if you uploaded the model and then somebody orders it, then it is sliced and started printing. And this is when we discover all the problems with the model. If the part fails, it goes through into a review. Well, there's a few stages. When an order comes in, if it's the first time an order has come through, it goes through a very basic review process that's like, okay, it's oriented correctly. This is basic sort of filters and stuff and a look at. It then gets printed. And then if it fails in printing, then it goes into a deeper review where a tech will look at it and try to fix the problem with the print, which is, by the way, given the fact that like the average cost of a print on portals is like $10, it's very expensive to do a manual review, reslice, and fix of somebody's file. And I don't mind saying it's very generous of us that we do this, but it creates a better customer experience. But anyhow, if a part fails in the print, we will go through and basically do a manual reslice of it so that it prints out. That all takes time, which means that you're knocking up against the back end of the processing time of like 2 to 5 business days. So it could take longer to process. However, that's on the first order. Once that has all happened on the first order, the second order will print instantly because it effectively has an optimized print profile with our machines, our materials, your file. It's been oriented correctly. All the issues have been solved. So the second order is much faster. This is bad for us because it's kind of it can potentially create a bad first experience or a worse first experience or a bad expectation, even though it gets better as time goes through. We're trying to figure out how to fix this, and we think there might be like a test my print sort of a feature in Teleport and Portals to where you can run it through without like making a full order, so it's a little cheaper. And we can see the part beforehand, and that way stuff ships faster for you. Okay. Let's see here. Next question. Portals links don't need to pull the default image as a preview for the link. Does it work sharing text on Portal? Oh, this was way back at the launch of it all. Tarnis 3D. They should now. We did upgraded rich text and all the rest of that stuff on Portals since the launch of it. So you should be able to share a Portals link to like Facebook, and then a preview of the portal with your item inside of it should appear rather than like Portals branded stuff. So that should be what's up there. We've done a couple of updates on that over the last few weeks. That question is actually quite old. Watches, trains, and rockets. Question. I cannot see, but want to, but oh no, that's not a question we can do. Question. Any timeline for high temp resistance filament functional parts? Some parts need to survive a hot car. ASA or maybe a new tough filament will work for this. There is PET-G. PET-G will work in most hot cars. PET-G won't work in a hot car in Phoenix, but it'll work in most hot cars. ASA, we're working on ASA. ASA has a few wrinkles with it, but we're working on it. Couple questions about portals. X3quitter. How do I, as a designer, get paid for my sales? I am EU based. When you get a sale, when your portal gets sold, you get the profit. It starts aggregating up in the left. You tap on your sales. When you hit, I think $25 is the minimum. You tap it when it hits $25, and then you request payout, and you get a payout. And it'll be sent to you via PayPal. Yeah, that's how you get paid. Will you add an affiliate program so I could work with influencers to promote my product and they could get a kickback from sales? Oh, an affiliate program for you to use with influencers for your product. You'll probably have to set that up yourself. Because we have talked about this internally also, but we need to get an affiliate program for portals first. And there's only so much time in a day. But the affiliate, there are a bunch of marketing tools lined out for portals that will be coming down. Affiliate isn't there yet. But influencers to promote my product and they could get a kickback from sales. That may land in there. A way you can do it, though, is just say, how would you do it? You You'd have to do an affiliate program, basically number of views, to where you give like a tiny URL custom link to each one of the influencers, and then you can track the number of views that came from that link and pay them a commission based off number of views rather than number of sales. Which, or what you can do is you can take the number of views out of the total number of views. That's a percentage. So I got 1,000 views. That guy sent me 100 views. He sent me 10% of views. Therefore, he gets 10% of the affiliate revenue. So if I sold $1,000, he gets 10% of that, which is $100. You can do something like that. So you can kind of put together your own affiliate program. Okay, already. I think that's the last question. Last question I'm going to cover here. The rest of them are getting too old. Okay. Discussion topic. We're at 42 minutes. Boy, this is going to be an hour-long podcast. Why portals will fail. The last few days I've been having conversations with the marketing team and that kind of stuff, and the dev team around features for portals and the expansion of it all and that kind of thing and where we're going and where it's running. The most dangerous thing a 3D printing company can do is say that they print anything. This is why every print service goes broke. This has created the most challenges for us in the past. This is why most people with a 3D printer can't get a business started at all or an Etsy store started. Because they're like, I can make vases, tools, and tchotchkes. I'm going to make them all. And now you're really bad at them. You're now bad or lukewarm at each one of them. So focus is so difficult while it's so important. Ironically, we just released a marketplace. Not a marketplace. A selling tool. A web app. A storefront for designers to upload a model, any model that's FDM printable, and we will print and ship it for them. The benefit we have is that we have printed more things than almost anyone else on the planet. So we know how to make a lot of different things, so we're open to doing that. But it is dangerous, because with portals, like right now we've been running ads, and all you people who watch these YouTube videos know about portals because you watch these YouTube videos. But you guys are a bunch of 3D printing nerds, and not all of you are going to create portals as fast as we want. We want a bunch of marketing business guys in here. We want some fleece-vested jerks over here. We want some different DNA working on portals. But like, this is the thing. Like, we want other people using portals outside of the 3D printing community. But in doing that, the question then becomes, okay, who do we pick? Because we can make anything. We can make nightlights. We can make cookie cutters. We can make tools. We can make vases. Who do we talk to first? We have some advantage in that we know what products are the most valuable, have the highest margin, and therefore are worth it to us to advertise to bring in users. And we also know how to go niche by niche in order to get those. But at the same time, we have like this internal struggle of like, which niche do we start with? And ultimately it comes down to you just start grinding and finding them out. Because there's no magic answer to it all. And like, we've got new employees coming on, and I've been going through our culture statement with them, which is supposed to be on video, but I'm doing it in person with them. But I always, let's see here. Number 10, do something. No plan has ever worked perfectly, so dive in. Imagine you're getting shot at. Do you want to think out a strategy as they march on you, or do you want to shoot back? We're in this moment where like there's a lot of decision fatigue and analysis paralysis kind of going on, and we need to just go. We need to go get shots on goals and get good at throwing layups. Once we're good at layups, then we can do a hook, and then once we're good at hooks, we can do a dunk, and once we're doing a dunk, we could throw a 360 in there and that kind of stuff. But the reason portals could fail is because, number one, portals is really amazing. Portals is really amazing because it's never existed before, and like designers who have only had the option of selling files can now sell prints. And prints are way more profitable than files and way more sustainable than files. They protect your files. You don't give your files away, so you don't lose them. And they're only on portals, so if you delete them, they disappear. So you have control of all that stuff. With portals, though, one thing that could kill us is trying to turn it into a marketplace. Because when you build a marketplace, you have to have sellers and you have to have buyers. And if there aren't any buyers there, all the sellers leave because they're like, there's no buyers here. And if you have no sellers, then all the buyers come and they're like, there's nothing to buy, so they go elsewhere. Or you go broke buying ads to have people not buy anything because there's two things there. So there's this really weird moderation, not weird moderation, but really difficult moderation where you have to jumpstart both of them at once so that you have enough sellers and have enough buyers at the same time. That's why you do not want to build a marketplace. I do not want to build Airbnb. I do not want to build Uber. I do not want to build Amazon with sellers. But even when Amazon started, Amazon didn't have sellers initially. Amazon became one of the biggest websites on the world, and then they let other people sell on them because those people could come on and actually be successful. But Amazon started out selling books, then they sold music, then they sold some Beanie Babies, and then they said, okay, third-party sellers can come on and sell through Amazon because we have a platform with a lot of traffic. We have kind of gone reverse where we're like, third-party sellers can come on and sell on portals, but it's a tool. But again, it's a tool for those sellers to sell through their Instagram. Like they have traffic going by and they're like, I need to get prints out the door and I don't want to run a print farm and I want to get rolling. So I'm just going to upload this to portals and they can take care of all the shenanigans. And that's very, very I'm not going to say it's common, but it's a common case for us. If we built out portals like a replacement to Etsy, we would fail. We would absolutely fail because we could not drive enough buyers and enough sellers at the same time. Now, over time, portals may grow into that. There might be enough dynamism on it where there's a bunch of buyers and they're looking for certain side of items, looking for a certain type of item, so we can match up an item to them and go from there. So it turns into a marketplace, but it's so difficult. And with 3D printing, it's more difficult because printing can make anything. So people will upload anything to portals. So we either start restricting what people upload, so we're focused to like home goods and functional parts, or we're taking everything and figuring out how to sort it. We're probably going to end up sorting it because portals is a really useful tool to where people can design anything and we'll print it out for you, which, by the way, is also a challenge. But whenever we do the marketplace, it will be restricted to categories. It'll have to be. Categories that 3D printing really thrives at. So like tools you won't find anywhere else, or nifty kitchen gadgets or something like that. Like we would be so super focused in order to allow portals as a store that I would shop at to be recognized and have a brand. If we don't do that, then portals will fail. If we're not even more focused with how we communicate to particular portals users, portals could fail. Like there's a lot of risk in this. And 3D printing, the fact that it's so broad in what it can do, we can make an iPhone stand or we can make a cookie cutter. Different people shopping for those. When you have that discrimination, that split, it's really tough to effectively market. Because you spend half your budget over here with this random group of people and half your budget over here with this random group of people, and neither one of them gets to like critical mass. So for us, the marketing strategy is we start off with 3D printing people because they understand the technology well enough to have parts, design stuff, have made a doorstop that they want to upload and share with friends. Friends who don't have 3D printers or use it at the local cookout. And then from there, we go niche by niche in like particular industries where we're like, this 3D printing can add a lot of value to you. You can now create this item. Here's the thing. So that's how the ways portals can fail. We can diversify too quickly and allow too many parts on there to where people don't like it. Though, guys, I don't want to toot our own horn here, but like we've done an exceptional job with order cancellations lately. Like we have instant order refund inside of there. Anybody can refund an order if they're unhappy with it. Same thing goes for buyers on portals. But the where was I going with this? That the number of cancellations has been declining even as our number of new orders increase. And that's a very good thing, because to have fewer problems, even as you're doing more stuff, the team's done a good job, and we're doing really, really good work. Literally, stuff we did in our production software over like the last 4 weeks has radically improved error rate and problems, and decreased shipping time. Like stuff is shipping in 2 days, super fast right now. It's been great. If I do say so myself, we're doing a very good job. But anyway, portals can go wrong because of just too many different things on there to where you create garbage, or it can go wrong by us presenting too many different things to too many different people. If we created a marketplace, if we took portals right now and just said marketplace, everybody explore everything on portals, it would be garbage, because it would be a bunch of random stuff basically, because we have thousands of users who are making cookie cutters and iPhone holders. Those don't need to all be next to each other or even on the same website. So until we get a hook on how the marketplace dynamic can work, we can't do it, because it just would be a big old long list of random stuff as far as the customer is concerned. And while that is interesting and has some novelty for a moment, it's not sticky and it doesn't last a long time and it doesn't create fans. So until we find that way to create fans, we can't do it. Alrighty, guys, that's the whole thing. If you have any questions, comment down below with your question. If you have any suggestions for guests that you would like to see on the podcast, on the coming interview podcast, let us know. Beyond that, check out portals, because it's really awesome. If you have a model, you should go over there and upload it and create a portal, because it's like it's a zero cost investment. If you have a model, you can upload it over there, have the link, and maybe somebody will buy it in the next 10 years. And that's $10 more than you would have had without it. And it took you literally 1 minute to create the portal. So just not doing that. It's a bad investment decision. You should go over, create a couple of portals that just float on the internet for years so that you can get a little bit of passive income when you're 80, in worst case scenario. In best case scenario, you make a video or a TikTok about it that goes viral, and then you have 1,000 machines ready to go and deliver all those parts for you in a couple of days, in a way was never possible 3 months ago. So I recommend trying out portals, because it's just really amazing. Alrighty, that's enough about that. I'm done chilling and talking about things or whatever it was. But I'll see you guys all next week. Have a good week. And one final word for the good of the order. If you are an Etsy seller, turn on your ads. I cannot overstate this. If you are an Etsy seller, flip the switch, turn on your ads right now. Because right now stuff is ramping up and Etsy's going to start spending to sell a whole bunch of stuff. So turn on your ads right now. This is a Christmas season. This is the best time to sell stuff. Turn on your ads. Make a budget of $25 to $50. Spend that and you will thank me later. Have a great day, everybody.